Hey, we ready? Alright, let's do this. Alright, disc golfing. So let's just take a look real quick right here at the side profiles of these discs. And I know that I've showed you guys these at PE, but these two ones right here on your right, these are the two putters. Notice how my white putter is, it's almost twice as thick as the blue one, but they're both labeled as putters. And then, of course, these are my mid-range discs. I use these the most, definitely my Kite the most frequently. And then while I'm at it, if you guys are interested in pursuing disc golfing in the future, you might learn some more about these numbers. These numbers basically tell you which way the discs tend to curve, off to the left or off to the right. And if you think about it, if you're throwing right hand, the disc is spinning one way, but if you're throwing left, it's spinning in the opposite way. And so you're going to want to consider those numbers if you do decide to take up disc golfing when you're older. Now, what do you do if you don't have discs? Grab a frisbee. If you don't have a frisbee, grab a ball. If you don't have a cage, like you see right back here behind me, then, you know, just like what James and I and Ben are doing in our videos, grab anything. You got to be flexible. You got to be creative, right? And so you're going to make a basket, or you know, you could use a garbage can that's clean. Throw a garbage bag in there, and there's your target. You can play a bucket ball. You can do all kinds of stuff. All right. And then of course I borrowed this cage from our PE treasure. So, all right. So a couple of things about your grip. Now, when you guys are throwing a frisbee, you might just hold like this. All right, think about how you're actually holding that disc. Some of you just like to throw. Others like to give it a little more of some thought. Sometimes people are holding their fingers out like this, with their the ring and their fourth finger hooked under here, under the edge. And some people like to hold like this, where it's just all splayed out. So your thumb's right there on the top. Now notice my pointer finger is underneath. That's how I'm going to be holding the disc when I'm throwing from my mid-range throws. But when I'm putting, I've got my index finger right here going along the edge, and then all my other three fingers are splayed out. Of course, that's for balance, and that's going to help keep it level and also nice and accurate. Okay, so speaking of accuracy, you always want to be eyeballing one link or one section right in here of your pole. All right, keep that as your focus, and then the more and more you practice, the smaller your target is going to become for you. In other words, you're going to be making mistakes further out, but as you practice, they'll be coming in closer and closer until you'll be able to get quite close to your target. So focus on that link right around there, all right? And then as far as your disc goes, when you're throwing it, make sure it's going nice and flat, because if it's not, you could have it go right through and out the other side, and of course, that won't count, okay? So, nice and flat, there you go, right in there, and hopefully your cage catches that bad boy, all right? So, let me do a couple of putts, and then I want to show you guys different ways of having your stance with your feet. All right, let's see if I can't stand here, maybe on the back, all right, where you guys can see me a little bit. So this is quite close. Maybe I could even bring, here, let's have some fun with that. All right, I'm going to bring this and stand right around here. Now, probably about 10 feet maybe, all right? And with this particular stance, I've got both feet pointing right at my cage, all right? And then I've got two hands on each side, and just like when you guys go golfing, you never swing right away in your first swing. You do a couple of practice swings, right? Same thing on your T-ball tee, or with, oh, I don't know, think of another sport that you might practice that with. Go nice and slowly, like if you're taking a free throw shot for basketball. You never step up to the line and just shoot right away. So Take your time. All right. There's no nobody timing you or anything, and there's no time periods. All right. So point your feet. All right, and they're not quite on a balance beam, right? Because you want to be nice and stable. So they're about shoulder width apart. All right here. I'm just going to come 1 foot forward. It's my dominant foot. All right, and then I'm taking a look at my link, and I'm going to lean forward a little bit and come back like I'm in a rocking chair. All right, and then I'm going to get thread to the throw, and then remember, your index finger is coming here along the edge of the disc, and you're splaying your fingers out across the bottom. Okay, just like that. And then release, nice and flat. Now when you release, you can pick up that back foot. All right, that can be nice and stable for you. Now there's no one way to throw a putt in disc golf. In fact, any video that you check online, you'll see that a lot of the discers, they have a different form, a different system, a different setup. So you just find one way that works for you and stick to that one way. All right, but of course, in order for you to find that one way, you got to try different ways. So here's another way. This one, my feet are substantially wider than shoulders width, still about the same distance, and I'm coming down nice and low. Again, fingers on the bottom, 2 hands on the side, my index finger is right along the edge, and I'd be coming down and up, down and up. All right, and then again, aiming right at that link, and then when I throw, trying to get that disc to spin a little bit, just like my previous putt. All right, some of you guys like to just throw so it's flip-floppy like that, just for kicks, but remember, it is a disc, it is aerodynamic, and you do want it to be hitting the chains while it's nice and flat, all right, and level. So give it a little bit of a spin with your wrist. All right, that was quite high. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I hit right around here. My other throw was right around here, but my target was right around in here. All right. So that's putting. All right. I'll see if I can get some other stuff recorded.